You sit across from them on the couch. The television is playing quietly. Neither of you is actually watching. You feel completely alone in a shared room. You look down at your phone. The screen feels heavy. You wonder if this is how it ends. You ask yourself if you're asking for too much. You quietly question your own worth. You're not failing at love. You're just reading the wrong signals. The relationship didn't fade because your affection disappeared. It faded because your emotional safety slowly left the room. Every couple that has ever loved deeply has stood exactly where you are right now. By the end of this video, you'll spot the 5 unspoken signs of a backup dynamic. You'll learn how to stop chasing a ghost. You'll finally see the truth clearly. Let's get into it. Most couples believe an avoidant partner pulls away because they lost interest. But the real truth is that their distance is actually a nervous system panic response. Their attachment wiring mistakes closeness for a direct threat. Love does not vanish when safety leaves. It just goes completely underground. When you try harder, you only trigger their alarm. What looks like cold indifference is usually someone who has been emotionally overwhelmed for years. Their silence becomes the only armor they know how to wear. Not louder arguments, not perfectly timed apologies, not scheduling a weekly check-in, but 2 people who finally feel safe enough to drop the performance and just breathe together. Once you see the mechanism, the confusion stops. You stop taking it personally. You start reading the patterns clearly. This shifts everything that comes next. Sign number 1. The hot and cold blueprint. Most couples mistake sudden warmth for real progress. They lean into the good moments, then brace for the sudden cold that always follows. But beneath the surface, this isn't random moodiness. It's a nervous system regulation pattern. Their attachment wiring craves connection until it crosses a hidden threshold. Then, panic floods the body. Love stays intact. The biology just demands distance. You see the disconnect every time. They pull you close on Friday, then they vanish behind busy work by Monday morning. You start wondering what you did wrong. You start chasing the ghost. Here's the part no one talks about. Their brain is quietly registering, "I need space before I drown." The connecting version looks completely different. They say, "I care about us. My energy is dropping. I just need some quiet time to recharge." He feels safe enough to name it. You stop taking the retreat as rejection. This isn't a communication hack. It's what an emotionally available person naturally does when they stop hiding. And when you do that, the walls between you start to come down, without either of you having to say a word. Sign number 2. The phantom future plan. Most couples accept distant someday promises as actual investment. They trade present-day presence for a fantasy timeline. And this is the one most couples never figure out. Keeping you as a backup isn't always conscious. It's a protective strategy built around intimacy avoidance. Their nervous system uses the future to dodge the present. They give you vague milestones instead of real moments. You hold on to words. You drift through uncertainty. You wonder why the calendar never aligns. What's moving through her is, "I forgot how good it feels to be chosen today, not eventually." The connecting version cuts through the fog. They ground the vision in reality. They say, I don't know how next year looks, but I want you in my week. Let's just cook dinner tonight. She feels anchored instead of suspended. You stop negotiating with potential. This isn't a trick for avoiding disappointment. It's what it looks like when someone learns to show up without losing their grounding. That's the shift that turns a relationship that feels like a waiting room into one that feels like a home. Sign number 3. The conditional availability rule. Most people in relationships normalize sporadic responsiveness as normal adult busyness. They accept attention only on borrowed terms. But here's what changes everything. When someone keeps you as a backup, their availability operates strictly on an emergency basis. They reach out only when their emotional tank empties. Loneliness spikes. They treat your bond like a comfort station. You give steady presence. You receive transactional check-ins. You start doubting your own intuition. Their unspoken longing creates a quiet drain. The connecting version rebuilds the foundation. They check their capacity beforehand. They say, I can't talk deeply tonight, but I'll be fully present Saturday morning. Does that work for you? They feel accountable instead of evasive. You stop auditing their effort. This isn't a scheduling strategy. It's just what two emotionally mature people naturally do when they prioritize reliability over convenience. That's when your partner stops feeling like a problem to manage and starts feeling like a person to come home to. Sign number 4. The deflection reflex. Most couples let surface-level charm mask deeper emotional withdrawal. They accept witty redirections instead of honest engagement. Honestly, it's exhausting to translate every time. Your nervous system in a conflict works like a smoke detector. It cannot tell the difference between vulnerability and actual danger. So they deflect instantly. What looks like playful banter is actually fear. You ask for real depth. You receive polished evasion. You start questioning your own memory. Something in him is saying, she doesn't need me to fix this. She just needs me to stay. The connecting version breaks the cycle cleanly. They catch the deflection early. They say, this is heavy for me. I'm scared if I say the wrong thing, I'll push you away. I want to try again. They feel exposed instead of armored. You stop fighting for basic honesty. This isn't a behavioral technique. It's what happens when someone decides to become a partner instead of just keeping you around. And when you do that, the unspoken tension dissolves without either of you having to argue at all. Sign number 5. The unspoken ceiling. Most couples hit an invisible intimacy wall and call it realistic expectations. They convince themselves that plateau is permanent. This is where it gets really interesting. When they keep you as a backup, they never fully cross into mutual repair. They give just enough turning toward to keep you from leaving. They withhold the presence that actually builds lasting safety. You keep reaching. They keep stepping back. You start feeling exhausted. Your longing turns into quiet resentment. What's moving through them is, if I give everything, I'll disappear completely. The connecting version removes the ceiling entirely. They lean into the discomfort openly. They say, we're stuck right now. I don't have the full map, but I'm walking beside you anyway. They feel committed instead of cautious. You stop measuring crumbs. This isn't a relationship checklist. It's the beginning of becoming the kind of partner you always wanted someone to be for you. That's the moment your cycles of pursuit finally transform into a shared refuge. When you internalize this, you stop reacting to their distance. You start responding with grounded clarity. These aren't tips for a better relationship. They're the foundation of becoming someone who refuses to settle for half-hearted love. You'll notice your boundaries strengthening. You'll feel your anxiety quiet down. You'll walk away from what drains you and step into what feeds you. Real intimacy doesn't start when you find the perfectly aligned person. It starts the moment you decide to stop begging for the bare minimum and finally honor your own worth.